See that? Relax.
What did you do?
Just remember when you so if you would just watch it.
How are you?
Just focus on whoever's
Here for the cause, not for the applause. Here for the cause,
Not for the applause.
here for the cause,
Not for the applause.
here for the cause,
Not for the applause.
if you want
Not for the
to,
applause. Not for the applause.
here for the cause.
Not for the applause.
I'm giving you creative control. You would just use your 2 fingers and pull it, or close it.
Not for the applause.
That's up to you. I'm happy with whatever you do.
I'm trying to be you in the flesh. Workers. So, okay, and I apologize. This is what democracy looks like. This is what democracy looks like. This is what democracy looks like. This is what democracy looks like.
Tell me what democracy looks like.
This is what democracy looks like.
Tell me what democracy looks like.
This is what democracy looks like.
Tell me what democracy looks like.
This is what democracy looks like.
Tell me what democracy.
This is what democracy looks like.
Tell me what democracy.
This is what democracy looks like. This is what democracy looks like. Fight back. 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 We say fight back. We say fight back. We say fight back. 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 Everywhere we go, people wanna know, people wanna know who we are, So we tell them, we are the retirees, the mighty, mighty retirees, the fighting back retirees, the fighting back retirees, everywhere we go, people wanna know, who we are, so we tell them, we are the retirees, the mighty, mighty retirees, the fighting back 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 retirees. Everywhere we go, people wanna know, who we are, so we tell them,
And so we tell them,
we are the retirees,
we are retired.
Big Ten.
the mighty, mighty retirees.
The mighty, mighty
I
retired.
said the fight back retirees.
The fight back retired.
Better fight back retirees.
Fight back retired.
Fight back retirees.
Fight back retired.
Yes!
Want to stand in the shade?
Yeah, we got. That's why they're cooking. That's why you have a split. You gotta be nice
We
now.
have a little shade here.
No shade. We don't want to throw no shade, but we got shade.
Retire. Starting to shade.
We're fired up. We're fired up.
Ready to fire!
Can't take no more.
Fired up!
Can't take no more.
Fired up! Don't take no more! 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 Everything else will make you sick. Intro. 96. 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 Everything else will make you sick. Everything else will make you sick. Everything else will make you sick. 96. Everything else will make you sick. Everything else will make you sick. Get on 1096. 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 Who's got the power? We got the power. 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 We got the power. We got the power. Who's got the power? 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 We got the power. What kind of power? Retiree power. What kind of power? Retiree power. What kind of power? Retiree power.
You got a good view?
Retiree power. What kind of power? Retiree power. Retiree power. Retiree power. No peace. No peace. No peace. No peace. No justice. No peace. No justice. No peace. No justice. No peace. No justice. No peace. No peace. No peace. Power. Power.
Okay, we'll turn it off. Okay, yeah. Okay, all right. All right, everyone.
All right.
How's everyone feeling today? How's everyone feeling today? What a week it's been, right? So I want to thank everyone for being here. Let's give it up to all the retirees. The retirees worked for our city when most people wouldn't. When most people would move out of the city, work in the private sector, but they served our city and they were given a promise to have the best health care possible. And today, we're here to celebrate that they are going to continue to have that Medicare that was promised. But none of this wouldn't be possible with one lady who really took the mantle to organize from the dais to the marches to hearings at City Hall to her YouTube videos to her radio segment, and more importantly, to be a leader that we all needed and we all deserve. Let's give a round of applause to Maryanne.
We got the power. 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 We got the power.
There are over 250,000 retirees, plus their loved ones, plus their extended families that rely on this crucial health care plan. This was literally life and death for many people. And even throughout this struggle, which took a really, really long time for no reason at all, it brought mental stress on many of our most vulnerable. It brought financial frustration to many people living in our city and around this country. And more importantly, it brought uncertainty to people's future. Not just retirees, but also current city employees. And so we always knew that we were on the right side of history, that we were on the side of justice. But there was a lot of obstacles. There was a lot of special interests, from big health insurance like Aetna, who kept on pushing, to former Mayor de Blasio, who created this terrible plan. But finally, we have better days ahead. The mayor announced last week that he is no longer moving forward with the privatization of retiree health care. We say fight back. And so I want to thank the mayor today, because he made a major announcement that's really going to set the precedent of moving forward. That we should protect city employees and retirees at all costs. And this is something that the city council should do. The city council have legislated on this for decades. And Intro 1096 is just the next step forward to make sure that we finally put this to an end and codify the protection that these folks deserve and these folks need. And so we're not just here to celebrate, but we're here to say the fight is not over. Until this piece of legislation is passed, they can do whatever they want, whether it's this administration or the next administration. But we're ready to fight. And we are ready to win like we did last week.
No peace, no justice. No peace, no justice. No peace, no justice.
I also want to give a major shout out to Croc, because they've been there in the front lines, every rally, making sure that people were organized and understood and actually educated people to understand what this meant to everyone across the city. So let's give it up to Croc! Croc, 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 Croc. Yeah, the Cross Union Retiree Organizing Committee. But I want to introduce our first speaker, the very amazing, the lady who is Superwoman of this fight. Let's give it up to Maryanne.
Thank you, everyone. It has been a long road to victory in protecting the city's retirees' right to choose their health care plan of their choice, our traditional Medicare with our senior care supplement. A victory that came with battles. Some were won, and a recent one that was lost, unfortunately. Through it all, council members Marte, Holden, and Barron stood side by side by the retirees. Thank you to the councilmen for doing this.
Who's got the power? We got the power. We got the power. We got the power. We got the power.
You have been there from the start, and you are our earliest legislative supporters, and you have been unwavering. Another thank you must go out to the labor leaders, the union presidents, and their bodies that stood with us. We appreciate also Mayor Adams' decision last week to join us at the table in the ill-guided bill that Bill de Blasio planned to shove retirees into a health care plan managed by a for-profit private insurance company. I'm trying to scream louder. I have a big mouth. And how do you think that would have turned out when it came to deciding whether a procedure was medically necessary? Really, Bill? So thanks to Mayor Adams and the stance he took last Friday, the retirees now have been handed a victory. It could not have happened if the 250,000 retirees themselves had not made their voices crystal clear. Some might think of this, in the words of Winston Churchill, as the end of the beginning, but I would like to think this as the beginning of the end. Now, we simply need to get the legislation passed that will guarantee this victory is a permanent one.
Right.
We need the undecided council members to help pass this legislation. It has languished for way too long.
Right.
We are eager for Adrian Adams, the City Council Speaker, to stand with us in passing this legislation, Intro 1096, so that no retiree and no elected official will ever have to go through this again.
All right. Everything else will make you sick. Intro 1096. Everything else will make you sick. Intro 1096. Everything else will make you sick.
The healthcare of our city retirees who have dedicated their lives to public service and improving the lives of New Yorkers is of paramount importance, the Speaker said last week. We are pleased that the mayor has finally found a resolution to achieve savings without reducing retirees' healthcare choices, which has always been our priority, she said. Now, we look forward to working with her. She is running for the mayor's job, and what a better way to show she's a great leader and has the conviction to do what's right than to pass Intro 1096, protecting our retirees' healthcare benefits permanently. And now is the time to thank those who stand with us today. So I thank the council members and my own members who have been here through snow, through rain, through heat, and here again today in 100-some degree weather. And thank you for all standing with us. And thank you, council.
We got the heat. 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 We got the heat.
All right, let's keep it rolling. I want to invite Sarah Shapiro of Prague and thank her. Okay. All right. Go ahead, Anna. Let's give it up for Roberta Prichter. The shark.
Everybody here knows that Medicare disadvantage is a death sentence once you're sick. Why? Because the vampire insurance company and their vampire cousins, the Adams family, Aaron, Adrian, and all the others on the city council who refuse to support us retirees want to suck our blood and keep us from having our benefits. We also know that Councilmember Marte's 1096, if we can get it passed into law, is what will protect our health care benefits and those of future city retirees. Our job now is to hound the council members who refuse to support us by voting for 1096, council members whose salaries we pay. We must hound them until they actively work for us to maintain the health care we paid for all our working lives. However, we do owe a round of applause and laughter to the mayor and Speaker Adams for their comedic skills. Do they really think they can suddenly suck us in with their political talk? We have decided not to move forward with the Medicare Advantage plan at this time. Really? And 2 minutes from now? Does he really think he can distract us? Our fight has frightened these most recalcitrant politicians into wanting to look like they're on our side. So we must thank the mayor and the speaker and those who now pretend to support us. Thank you for giving us inspiration to fight even harder. We have them on the run. We did that. Now we have to get them to actually do something. We have to get them to pass and implement 1096. Remember that we have paid and continue to pay for our Medicare. Remember the supplemental insurance that we will pay for if the city does not. Remember that vampires will always search for other ways of privatizing, stealing our tax money. Remember copays or other as yet uncreated fees that you and I will be stuck with if 1096 is not passed. This is also the moment to think beyond our narrow concerns. Health care for city retirees is very important. But what about the in-service workers? Will they be made to pay for our benefits? That's not acceptable. Even if the city should take care of all of its workers, if everyone does not have health care, not insurance, care, those of us with our little corner of it will never be safe. This is the moment to fight for and win health care for all New Yorkers, all New Jerseyans, all the Connecticut nutmeg, and then universal health care for everyone in the country, including our cats and dogs. And sharks.
Yeah.
Our people united will never be defeated. Our people united will never be defeated. Our people united will never be defeated. Our people united will never be defeated.
I want to introduce someone who has been a lion in the city council, someone who's been supportive of retirees. When Charles Barron had his bill, this man was on it. So he's an OG, and he's on my bill as well. He's our finance chair. He's an amazing individual, and we know him as the bulldog of the city council. Let's give it up to Justin Brandon.
Justin Brannon. It is great to be here today. And look, I rarely reserve commentary when I think the mayor has done something wrong. So we appreciate that he did the right thing here. However, it was very, very, very unnecessary to let retirees twist in the wind like this for so long. And with the whole world watching New York City now to see how we move and if we're really fighting for our values, while we see what's happening in Washington, where they're trying to privatize everything. They want to privatize public housing. They want to privatize our health care. They're trying to cut veterans' benefits. They're trying to cut the 9/11 health fund. That's not who New York City is. That's not who we are. So how can the city of New York even put retirees through this in the first place?
Yep.
Retirees that gave this city some of the best years of their lives. And these are people who have been retired for decades. You don't just come and knock on their door one day and say, hey, you know that health care you've enjoyed for the past 40, 50 years? We're going to change it tomorrow. That is not who we are. And I know the story of David versus Goliath. And I know not to bet against David. So look, now we have to make sure, I think everybody running for mayor now has promised that they're not going to go back. But we have to make sure we know promises, we know what happens to promises around here, unfortunately. But what was promised to our retirees was a covenant. And I know as chair of the budget committee, when they first came to us and said, hey, we got this great plan to save $600 million a year. I said, okay, what is it? They said we're going to pull the rug out from underneath retirees and shit. I go, no. We're not doing that. But let's get this straight. For the past 3 years, while the mayor has let the retirees twist in the wind, that money has been in the budget. And last I checked, the lights were still on in the city of New York. So don't tell me that we've got to balance the budget on the backs of retirees, because we're not going to do it. Retirees were promised traditional Medicare, and that's what they need to enjoy until they're 5,000 years old. That is what our city is all about. How will we ever attract more people to come work for the greatest city in the world if this is how we treat our retirees? Today is a big victory, but we're going to stay vigilant. We're going to get 1096 passed, and we're going to make sure that our retirees can enjoy the rest of their years being treated with dignity and respect.
Promises kept. Promises kept. Promises kept. Promises kept. Promises kept. Promises kept.
All right, I want to invite up a retiree, but also a council member who has been in this fight from day one. Let's give it up to Bob Holden.
Thank you, Chris. By the way, he was the original guy on that bill. Charles Barron. With the Great Panthers, by the way. But working for CUNY for over 40 years, I was promised that I could pick my plan, my Medicare that I wanted, and I picked it. And we would have a choice. And that's why I retired so early. But I retired because I did have a plan. I did have a good health plan. What happens? The rug was pulled out from under us.
Yes.
And that's never good. I'm not even happy with the statement so far from the mayor. I guess it leaves an open door. And the open door is the problem, because anybody can change it later on. But Maryanne, nobody's been a better fighter. If we didn't have her, we would be nowhere. And again, 1096 we have to pass, but we shouldn't need to do it. We don't have to do it. We won in so many courts, except the last one. And yeah, they know us. But we have to keep battling to keep what we have. And what we have is, of course, the Medicare Advantage is not really an advantage, is it? No. Because it doesn't have many of our healthcare professionals. It doesn't have the doctors that we need. It doesn't have the hospitals even that we need. And many of them don't want to take that plan. Why? Because it's vague and it doesn't give enough coverage. That's the last thing we need in our retirement. We need better health care coverage rather than less. So we hope the mayor will stay backed off. We hope future mayors will do that, but we have to be vigilant. And one thing we do have is Maryanne, by the way. Again, I just want to say it's great to see Charles again. We sat next to one another in the back of the city council chambers. And now that he left, I'm the oldest in the city. I know that. That's good. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Without further ado, because it's getting really hot, let's move it along. I want to invite the former assembly member who was chair of the housing committee for years. He knows healthcare better than anyone in New York State, and he's been on the side of the retirees from the very beginning. Let's give it up to Dick Guthrie.
Fellow public employee retirees. By the way, my mother, bless her heart, for 38 years was a retired New York City high school teacher. She was a teacher for about 20 plus years before that. She did very well on the retirement system. You know, I think it was Justin made reference to the David and Goliath story earlier. I'm going to refer to another old story. Little Red Riding Hood. You know, grandmother, what big eyes you have. You know, when the mayor made his announcement the other day, he said that he is already working on other plans to improve.
Yeah, we got other plans. We got plans for him.
Something better. You know, that ought to stay in the daylight.
Working on other plans, okay.
That's what he said about Medicare disadvantage, right?
Right.
So like people have said about Trump, benefits. And Chris Marte's bill 1096 is an absolutely vital next step. I hope we can go beyond that and pass the New York Health Act. Yes. So all 20 million New Yorkers will be in the same health plan with the governor and all the governor's staff and the legislature and their staff and their family members and their friends and their contributors, and a plan with publicly funding based on ability to pay, not premiums, not deductibles, not co-pays, not restricted provider networks. So if you really need a special kind of care, sorry, we're not covering it. Not restricted drug coverage. And, you know, just looking around, more than half of us at some point are going to need long-term home care or nursing home care. Does Medicare cover that? No. Do our retiree health benefits cover that? No. Do health insurance plans cover that? No. Does the New York Health Act cover that?
Yes.
Yes. All right. So, yes, we need 1096. We needed it yesterday, we need it today, we need it tomorrow, and all 20 million of us to have real security, real affordable coverage, not based on our work or our retirement status or where we come from or any of that. That's what the New York Health Act is about. Let's all fight together. If you're interested in some written material, I brought some flyers. And I just want to also add, it is just so wonderful to be here today with a guy who used to sit next to me on the floor of the Assembly, one of my favorite former colleagues, Charles Barron.
Oh my God!
And without further ado, Charles Barron! She said, behave. No, not going to.
I said behave.
Of all people. Hey, this is a great victory for us.
Yes.
And you know what? This is just the beginning.
Yeah.
Because we need, as Dick said, we need free health care for everybody. This is the richest country in the world. We need free education for everybody. We need to end the homelessness. Everybody has a right to a house, a home, and this the richest country in the world. So the mayor was forced to do what 13 other judges said he should have done. Way back when. The mayor was forced by your power.
Yes!
Your power. Not because he loved you, but it's your power.
Yes.
I always say black power, but I gotta say people power. I'll expand it to people power just for today, But we do need to show and continue our power. This brother here, I have nothing but the ultimate amount of respect. Our folks claim social
socialism, claim revolution, claim all these things until they get inside. Once they get inside, they become pragmatic over political principles. Not him. They made the mistake and they put him in my seat. In the back where we sat. They put him in my seat. They thought he was being punished. He got up and said, "Thank you for putting me in the seat of Charles Barron, and I'm going to follow in his footsteps." Hey, cut out here. Power to the people. Straight ahead. More victories are in the future for us.
United, we'll never be defeated. People, united, we'll never be defeated.
Our last speaker, we are tremendously in debt to, because he represented everyone here in the courtroom, every single time, making sure that our argument was clear and it was convincing, because this guy was batting better than any Major League Baseball player there is. He just kept on winning and winning and winning. So let's give it up to the retiree lawyer, Jake Gardiner! Let's keep going!
Thank you guys for all coming out here. I'm going to be short and brief because it's so hot. 4 years ago, I was introduced to Steve, I was introduced to Maryanne, and I could never have predicted that we'd be standing here 4 years later. No one had been forced into Medicare Advantage, and us still winning. In every possible way, we wanted to maximize our chances in court, in City Hall, with the unions, with every possible avenue we could to achieve success. And so thanks for Steve for seeing the vision early on that this was a fight worth taking on given the risks. And obviously thank you to Maryanne and the Organization of Public Service Retirees for seeing the same thing and for working. What I tell Maryanne every time I talk to her is you need to take a little bit of a break for yourself. You need to just get some rest. And I will tell you that she has worked tirelessly for all of you. And I also want to give a lot of thanks to Steve Cohen, who's just been an amazing.
I'm just going to say two things real quickly. Jake is a much better lawyer. Number two, when Maryanne called me 4 years ago, I said you've got to do two things. One, it cannot be just firefighters or just police officers or just teachers. You've got to bring these people together. And she herded you as cats, and she made it happen. The second thing, we had a basis to win in 12-126. We need a new basis in Intro 1096. You've got to get that passed. That's the message today.
Yes. Thank you. Intro 1096, everything else will make you sick. Intro 1096, anything else will make you sick. Intro 1096, anything else will make you sick. Intro 1096, anything else will make you sick.
Finally, I want to thank all the council members that are on the bill, and I want to give a future thank you for all the council members that would get on the bill. And I want to give a quick shout out to council candidate Vanessa, who's here, who's taking time off to stand. Thank you for being here, and happy to take. And Colin Thompson. Oh, and Colin Thompson in the back. Yeah. Shout out Colin. But we're happy to see. Oh, and Curtis too. I want to take any questions from the press.
Chris, can you talk more about the mayor's rationale, saying this is more about the cost and not so much about the prior authorizations, denial of care? He still seems to be ignoring that.
Look, if this fight is a budget fight, which a lot of it isn't, especially for retirees because they have a separate fund, but for current employees, if it's a budget fight, let's have it. We have it when we're facing the funding of our schools. We have it when we can't fix, our parks, our libraries. This should be a fight for the current budget for current municipal workers. And we want the speaker to visualize that fight as a budget fight. So we welcome that, but not for the retirees, but for everyone else.
Thank you.
All right, guys, thank you so much.
All right, everyone, we're kind of melting out here, but we will be back later. I'll give you a little bit of an update, but I'm going to get in the shade and get everyone else in the shade, and I will talk to you guys later today. Thanks for joining us.
How you doing?
Hold on. Hold that for 1 second.